And moving on to the markets in Nigeria, we did see the all-share index today decline by 0.75% to but rather by 0.3% to 33,159 points, really driven lower by losses we saw in the likes of Nestle Nigeria, Total, Unilever, Cadbury, and of course Dangote Cement. It seems anytime that stock goes down, the market goes in the same way. Joining me in the studio to give us a wrap of the market this week and what to expect going forward is Rotimi Fakayejo, Managing Director at Enterprise Capital Partners. Rotimi, thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Very good evening.
As we warm up for the weekend, I think if we take stock of what happened this week, the market up only about 0.5%, today down about 0.3%. So it's still in the context of how this market has been trading for a while, in a limited trading range. Your thoughts about the activity we're seeing and some of the results that we've seen this week? I think notable are Dangote Cement and of course Unilever.
For the activities this week, it's really been very interesting. We've seen the market go up very significantly on Wednesday, and yes, today it dipped. Yesterday very sparingly, and all in all, the change for the week is still in the positive region at about 0.4% for the entire week, and that is quite good, at least for a time like this. We've seen a lot of bear run in some securities, and that's particularly is not what the market really expected in terms of a stock like Skybank. Skybank posted a very good result, and at the same time we've seen a lot of dumping of those shares. Yeah, and it's really not been impressive at all.
Well, the banking sector has been a bit mixed, the results we've seen, and I guess the performance of stocks as well is somewhat mixed as well. You just mentioned Skybank, but of course we know GT Bank is one of the gainers in today's session. Yeah. They held their AGM yesterday. I think people feeling good about that stock, but it's not the same across the banking sector.
Yes, I think GT Bank remains an exception in the market. A lot of people have confidence in banking with the bank, and they have confidence in holding the stocks of that bank. And this has really held sway for the bank. And we saw it go down shortly after it was marked down to about 23 Naira plus, and presently it's trading above 25. That actually shows a lot of strength, which was consolidated by the first quarter result. For the results of this week, we saw Dangote Cement posting a very impressive result, a PAT of about 151 billion, and a payout of about 3 Naira per share.
But I don't think many people are impressed with the payouts, though.
Yes, I think, yes, for a lot of people, they are not impressed. But what I quickly called their attention to is the fact that we saw Nigerian bureaus in the same price sphere and paying a dividend of about 3 Naira. We saw the likes of Nestle Foods being as high as about
over 900 Naira.
Over 900 Naira, and paying a dividend of about 18 Naira or thereabout, as at when it was declared.
So even a lower yield than what
yes.
Dangote Cement is offering.
Exactly. About the same yield. So what I'm trying to say is, in the real sector, we have a dividend yield of about 3% now. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas in the banking sector, we have a dividend yield of about 6%.
On average.
On average. Now, but for the stock, Dangote Cement, the results, why I say is impressive is at least there's a leap of about 23-25% improvement in their profit after tax. And at the same time, there is a retention of about 100 billion to plow back into business, which means going forward in the future, they will have less finance costs to pay. Yeah. Because they have more liquidity in their system. Right. So I think for a shrewd investor that is forward-looking, it's quite a very good result. And I think they should just sympathize with the fact that, yes, indeed.
Do investors sympathize at all? Well, I don't know.
They don't, but they don't have a choice at this time. But I believe the price won't do too badly with time to come.
Okay, let's move on to other sectors, though. Insurance, I think it's an area that a lot of people are talking about a little bit. We're still expecting results from the sector, so very little activity at this stage. But if you were to pick any names there, which ones look interesting for you?
Yeah, I think for the insurance sector, we have just a very few names that rings bell and really prove their worth in the market. We have Custodian Allied Insurance. We have Mansard, former GT Assurance. Right. We have Prestige, we have ICO, then we have Continental Re. These ones have always been the ones that are very consistent in dividend payments. And that means their book is always blue. But for several other whose prices are just at the par value, the lowest that the market can go as allowed for now, is those ones we've not seen dividend for quite a while. And the little profit that is being posted is not even impressive to be shared. Right. So I think for those that I've mentioned, they are actually the ones that investors are looking forward to actually do something that will put smiles on their face.
If we move back to the banking sector, what about Wema Bank? I mean, it's the best performer on the market this year, it's a gain of about 160%. Clearly, some people are seeing some value there. Well, of course, it's coming from a very low base. Your thoughts about that as an investment option?
Well, I think for Wema Bank, at a time when they were struggling to survive, we saw them move from the conventional banking group that they belong to a regional bank.
Yeah.
And now they are stepping up to come back as a national bank.
Right.
Though they can still do foreign transactions. So I think that change, that transition from coming as a regional bank to national bank is really what makes people think, okay, we can put money, since some people are putting a large chunk of money into that company, into that bank, they believe strongly that at least there should be something and the price can remain for what as it is for a very long time. Right. So definitely there will be an improvement. So people are like having a renewed confidence in the bank. So I think for investors, it's still here and there because with the way their books are, it may be very difficult for them to really have something in return, even the coming year. Okay. But I think it's something to look or hold on to for quite a while.
All right, so the month is wrapping up next week, early next week. Your thoughts about what to expect for the rest of the quarter? Do you think this market is likely to trend higher? It's up only about 18% for the year. Are we likely to see it close higher this quarter, higher or lower than that?
Wow, for the quarter, I think what we're going to see much is the index hovering between, the change in index hovering between 21% and what we have now. That is,
so slightly higher.
I think sometimes within the quarter, we still see it tend towards 34.
Right.
Then recede again to about the base of 33 and back and forth. Right. But I don't really see it closing lower than 33,000 basis.